Hello everyone, and welcome back to Dutiful Future. Today I'm going to be combining the two best things that I have in my life right now. Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, my favorite video game of all time, and I have politics. So what I'm going to be doing is mapping every single Smash Ultimate character onto the political compass. Why? Don't ask why, just watch the goddamn video. It's going to be fun. Some of these decisions will be based on the character and sort of their personality and their backstory. And for the characters that I don't know, the Fire Emblem ones, it'll be more based on the sort of play style in Smash and how they'll sort of fit into that. Let's just jump straight in. So, first of all, Mario. Now, I know you're all thinking, he's the boring middle character. And while you're right, you're slightly wrong because whilst he is definitely a centrist boy, he also simps for a queen, Princess Peach. So he's slightly right. He's a right authoritarian center. Boom, Luigi. So what I'm going to go for is he's sort of a soft lib left. So, he's a bit of a pacifist. In his games, he's quite a bit of a wimp, and I don't think he'd be one that'd be dying for conflict. He's he's that kind of guy. Peach, authoritarian right, absolute monarch, is willing to throw her subjects, i.e. Toad, in front of her at the first sight of danger. Daisy, on the other hand, a bit more chill, has some more personality. Whilst she is also a monarch, you can see the crown on her head there, more relaxed. I'm just going to put her slightly more chill than Peach. Bowser. So, Bowser is also a monarch, King Koopa after all. But I actually think he's more of constitutional. He cares more about his family, so rather than, Peach cares about nothing. Peach is just there for distraction. Bowser does care about his siblings, so I think whilst he is up there, I think he's a bit more relaxed. Dr. Mario is a technocrat, if I've ever seen one. He's well educated, and he just thinks that the fact that he is a doctorate means he should run society. So there he goes, just slightly into authoritarian left there. Rosalina and Luma was a tough one. I kind of thought of her, she's a princess, like we know, once again, another crown. She also sacrifices her subjects, so we see Luma die very often. But that seems like more of a team in this one. Peach literally holds Toad in front of her to fight. Luma's kind of in there more by choice. But what kind of flung in for me is that she's trying to colonize the stars, basically. She's a monarch of the stars, so she's more imperialist. So I'm going to go, it's more like almost economically right-wing. So I'm going to put maybe a bit lower down, but still quite extreme culturally. Bowser Jr. Bowser Jr.'s political leanings that he just wants his dad to love him. So kind of sad, but I'm gonna put him just a little bit more chill than Bowser. So I think he does want to be king one day. He does see himself as rising to King Koopa levels, but he's not there yet. If this was Lemmy, I'd put down Lemmy. Lemmy's a chill guy. If I play Koopa, I'm a Lemmy boy. He's down here. He's down here in the green. He's a nice guy. I like him. DK, everyone's favorite ape with a tie on. He is an Anprim, if I've ever met him, an anarcho-primitivist. He wants everyone to return to monkey. So there he goes, right down there in just deep anarchism. He doesn't really care which way. That's just where he is. Diddy Kong, however, right, also an Anprim, but wants guns. So he's a little bit less Anprim and a little bit more right libertarian because he loves guns. Link. This is the Breath of the Wild Link, and I think when you go into that world, it seems quite, it's a bit more anarchist, quite collectivist. Everyone's just quite chill, lots of different towns. There doesn't seem to be too many, leaders of some kind. So I'm kind of put him in sort of the more collectivist, left anarchism. So as for Sheik, I don't really know much about Sheik, apart from that she's secretly Zelda. Spoilers. So I'm basically going to say she's a royal, but she's more apologetic for it, which, that's a better royal in my book. So she's going to go, I don't know, there. Sure, why not? Zelda, on the other hand, whilst they're the same person, this is when Zelda's open about being a monarch. But once again, a bit more relaxed. I'm just going to put her center authoritarian. Young Link. So this is where I'm going to establish one of the most important rules for this list. All children, apart from maybe Bowser Jr., are some sort of extreme. Young Link going to be sort of a right libertarian, somewhere down here, maybe even like a sort of deep, nearly not an ANCAP yet, but deep right-wing libertarian. I'm not really sure why. He just gives me that vibe. I don't like him. That's where he's going to go. Ganon, pure authoritarian, doesn't care about anything. He's just there and hates everyone. That's an easy one. Toon Link. Like I said, all kids are some form of authoritarian. Toon Link, communist. He's more chill, Toon Link. I like Toon Link. Toon Link, communist. Easy. Samus, space mercenary, I think? Yeah, like a bounty hunter. So she's definitely lib-right, but not too extreme. Just like, normal capitalism, or maybe your mercantile capitalism. ZSS is just Samus as well, but doesn't have the tech. So I'm going to put her just a little bit to the left there. You want someone to give her the suit, basically. Ridley's a space pirate. So he's basically Samus, but more extreme. So he's more about like your sort of ANCAP stuff. He just wants chaos. So he's going to be like, he's an ANCAP. He's a violent ANCAP. He's right down there. Yoshi's strange. A lot of people hate Yoshi. You know, he does sacrifice himself for his friends often. You know, there's enough times Mario has thrown him off a cliff and he's still sort of stuck with him. So I don't really think too much of him. He is just a reptile. So I'm just going to put him like slightly into lib left. He seems to care about the people, but he's not too bothered about authority, I think. He's, you know, if he's a dinosaur, he doesn't really care. Or a reptile of some sort. Kirby is beyond the political spectrum. He is a god walking amongst beings. He is the all-powerful and almighty. He's just going to be right there. If I had a way to map him onto a 4D compass, that's where he'd be. Meta Knight I'm going with is kind of like feudalism, which is sort of around here, I believe. So it's kind of like your right-wing, culturally like classic, but then you also believe, you know, you're not really capitalist. You're kind of capitalist. You have like lords and things like that. So I'm going to kind of put Meta Knight there because, you know, he's a knight. And knights were in the feudal times. You kind of get what I'm going for? Sure. King DDD is a monarch, but he's nice about it. He's like a constitutional monarch. You don't know why? Because one of his skins, he has his subjects on his robe. So he clearly cares somewhat. Plus, he's just a fun guy. So I'm going to put him... He doesn't throw them around anymore like he did in Brawl. So he's going to be around about there. Not too extreme. Whilst he is a king, he's a constitutional king, so he's more chill. Fox is a tough one. He's a soldier, but also a furry. So he's going to be kind of lib left, kind of there. I don't know about that one. Just ignore it. Falco is a psychic. He just follows orders, and we all know what happens when you just follow orders. Yep. You end up there. Wolf, I think, isn't he like another space pirate type thing? I'm not sure about that, but I don't know. I get kind of lib-right vibes from him. Maybe a little bit more up here. I think he gives off sort of the space pirate vibes as well, so he kind of just wants to do his own thing and will, you know, murder the soldier guy down here. So I'm going to put him there. Pikachu's just a rat. I couldn't really think of anything else, but I feel like Pika's quite oppressive when you play against them, so I'm going to put them just a little bit into the blue there, a little bit into the authoritarian. Jigglypuff is a soc dem, a social democrat, just wants Medicare for all, you know, wants to take care of everyone with the Clefairies and everything like that. So, you know, just pretty chill. Kind of lib left, nothing crazy. Whilst you may just think Pikachu's just a rat as well, should be the same as Pikachu. No. See, Pichu falls under the rule we had about earlier. All young people are extremists. Pichu is a revolutionary anarchist. Pichu just wants to get involved, is young, a bit crazy, and doesn't mind hurting themselves to try and fight for what they care about. So I think it's going to be a bit revolutionary anarchist for you. Mewtwo is a post-humanist. He doesn't care for human society. He just wants, you know, to do his own thing. So I don't really know where post-humanism is on this map. So I'm kind of just going to put him kind of in the same line of Kirby. But I think he probably leans a bit more authoritarian because he thinks he should be in charge. He's kind of a center authoritarian. Pokemon Trainer, ANCAP. Pokemon Trainer has employees who they don't really pay. Maybe they pay them in like hugs at the end of the match. And they're willing to really put their laborers through a lot of work. Lucario is just a masochist. I don't really know what kind of political leaning that means he is, but I remember him in the games being kind of nice, but also has the same kind of thing as Mewtwo, where he thinks like, oh, he kind of knows everything, and that sounds authoritarian to me. So I'm going to put him kind of in the same range as Mewtwo, but he seems to... Actually, you know what? I'm going to put more authoritarian left. He wants the revolution. He wants to free the Pokemon. They count as workers. Greninja's the same line as Meta Knight. He's a ninja, so he's feudalism, but I'm just going to put him... Yeah, he's going to be there next to Meta Knight. So Ness is definitely extreme. Ness is far right. If you look at his playstyle, you look at his character, he just wants people to die. He's an absolute fascist. Lucas, on the other hand, he's a bit like Luigi. He's a bit cowardly, a bit more chill, cares more about people. So I'm going to put him... Since he's a kid, he's more extreme than Luigi, so he's going to be a bit more lib-left, but he's over there now. He cares more about people, he's more relaxed. Captain Falcon, to me, screams coping MAGA person right now. He would have voted for Trump, clearly, to own the libs. He's going to be kind of a Trump supporter, I'd probably say, as, like, here somewhere, maybe? I don't really know. He kind of feels like that, because he is more, like, capitalist, I'd say. But he doesn't mind there being authoritarian in terms to what he does, so he's going to be there. Ice climbers are tradwives, tradcons. They're traditional conservatives. You know, there will be the nuclear family if we help it get kids at all. But nothing crazy. Just kind of like slightly in auth-right. Nothing wild. Marth. This is where things get a bit tricky. I don't know anything about Marth, except, you know, Marth likes spacing, likes to be relatively controlled and reserved in their play, likes a lot of planning. Huh? Centrally planned economy. Auth left. There you go. Fire Emblem fans, tell me if I'm right. Lucina is a centrist. You play Lucina if you're just here, you know, for consistency and everything to be pretty relaxed. So I'm just going to put him Right there, just next to Mario. Imagine Lucina and Mario basically in the same spot, I think. Roy's a bit more chaotic. He's much more aggressive in his playstyle. I struggled with Roy. I don't really know much about him. I think maybe you could say he's here, roughly. Sort of, he would definitely like sort of Revolution. He's very angry and very in your face about it. So I think he might be just sort of down here with Pichu, where he's just angry about something and just wants it to be known. Ike fights for his friends. I know that about him. So I'm just going to say he's a socialist. He's just your bog standard socialist. He's collectivist mindset. All he cares about is his friends. And his friends, you know, that's his politics. He just wants to help people out. That's nice. He's there. Corrin. I actually did some research on Corrin in the wiki. Corrin's a royal, but is relatively nice about it. Is dutiful, if you're watching the channel. So forthright, but not very extreme. So he's kind of like King DDD, a constitutional monarch. Sees himself as kind of, that's not Corrin. That's Robin. This is Corrin. I haven't done Robin. Robin... God, that doesn't really show what the Fire Emblem characters are like in this game. Robin is, like, I think a bit like Marth. It's all about planning and strategy and sort of central planning stuff. So definitely authoritarian, but doesn't really lean either way. So I'm just going to put a little bit there. Really has like a game plan, and they're going to stick to it. They don't have anything to change. Corrin, like I was saying, is like a monarch, but it really cares about their people. Kind of like DDD, constitutional monarchy, nothing crazy. Game & Watch is just 2D. He doesn't operate on this dimension of politics. So I'm just going to put him around here as well. I think Game & Watch, he transcends the political plane. He's just glad to be involved. Pitt never learned how to read, so that means he's a libertarian. He says his favorite book is Ayn Rand and he's not read it. Dark Pitt just wants to be edgier Pitt, so he's going to be just a bit further down into lib-right. Palutena is a theocratic autocrat. Wants an autocratic theocracy. She wants to rule society with her being the sort of goddess on top of it. And honestly, doesn't sound that bad. Wario only does what he does to try and make money, so he's definitely right, like, economically. So he's more libertarian. However, you know, he's even more libertarian socially because he's not really one for, like, talking about degenerates. You know, he just farts a lot. He isn't particularly, like, blah, blah, that sort of thing. He's not very culturally right, so he's going to be down here in libertarian rights. Snake, I know in his games he's a bit anti-government. He fights a lot of government agencies and he blows a lot of stuff up, and that's a revolutionary anarchist if I've ever heard one before. That's probably totally wrong from the games, but who cares? Sonic. Sonic's a bit of a tricky one. I don't really know what to think of his politics. I just know he wants to go fast and he doesn't like things being in his way, so I feel like that's libertarian. So I think he just wants a society which would get out of the way of him running the least, so I'm just going to put him down there. Olimar is a fascist. He throws his lovely devout people to death every day to just violently attack a random enemy. I mean, for God's sakes, he lets his people die. Look at him behind me. Look at him there. Look at him. Look at that demon. Look at him. He's terrifying. He's that. He is one of the most evil characters in this game. Rob's a planned economy. He's a technocrat, definitely. You know, planned economy, all these sort of things. He sort of controls the game. That's where the zoners are. I think they tend to lean more authoritarian left. Villager hates capitalists. He hates landlords. That's Dengism, if you ever ask me. But he also likes sharing resources, you know, so he's going to be up here. He doesn't really care about that much. He just wants landlords to die, i.e. Tom Nook. Mega Man, probably just like a slight autocrat. You could say he's a transhumanist. He just thinks that, like, he just wants people to get, you know, robot arms and stuff because that's better for him, so it's better for other people, I guess. Who cares? Wii Fit is definitely libertarian right. If there's anyone in this game who would tell someone if they were struggling to just pull themselves up by their bootstraps and, you know, work harder and work out or whatever, I feel like Wii Fit's the type of person who, if you're, like, depressed, she'd just tell you, hey, just do some yoga. And that's a libertarian right argument if I've ever heard one before. Little Mac is just an underdog by nature. He's not a very good character. I think he's lib-left. He's just a fighting underdog. You know, he's willing to scrap a little bit, but he doesn't really do that much. I'm going to put him down here. The Miis, whilst also being centrists, obviously, they're more anarchic because you don't know what things they're going to have with them. You don't know what moves they're going to be bringing. That's a bit chaotic for me. So just like a little center kind of centrist anarchism down there. Nothing very extreme. Pac-Man's old as hell and is probably racist. So I'm going to put him there. Culturally right. He's going to be there. Shulk is a Marxist. He can see into the future, and the future he's looking at is the material conditions to change so that he can finally enact his revolution. Duck Hunt. All dogs are apolitical. I can't really fit him there. I'm just going to put him kind of... Imagine he's just centrist as well, kind of like where Kirby is. He's just a good boy. Ryu, I don't know. I don't have Ken on here, but they're basically the same in my opinion. I don't know anything about them. Ryu, to me, I don't know if I'm wrong about this. He seems quite nationalist. You know, he fights for glory, and he cares about his country, and he's kind of willing to fight for it. Now, apart from that, not that political, so it's going to be there. So Cloud did some more research. Cloud's a mercenary who protects the planet from Sephiroth. So I'm going to say he's an environmental libertarian. which is a real thing. So it kind of puts him there, you know? So he is a mercenary, so he's in it for money. However, he also cares about saving the planet. So, yeah. Bayonetta's a witch, and like all those witches we see on TikTok, she is a lib left. There she is, right down there. Unfortunately, she is the cringe that we have. Inkling! Inkling is a kid and is extreme. Inkling is just all about controlling, like, land, you know, basically colonization. So Inkling extreme, sort of economic right, but also authoritarian. So it's like, it's all about colonization, taking land, etc. You know, that's the thing they do with the roller. Huh? Smart, funny. Yeah. Dark Samus, edgy Samus. Same thing with Dark Pit. Ignore that this is a white background. Simon and Richter, I'm going to say, are basically the same. They are going to be progressives. You know, they're not very extreme into lib left, but they definitely are in lib left. And this is because, you know, they're fighting very old traditional monsters. They're fighting tradition in this sense. You know, they're fighting old monsters like vampires and stuff. You know, just kind of think about they're fighting tradition. They're just progressive. They just want to see progress in society. King K. Rool, this is my main. Whilst being a king, so you'd think up here, is also very economically right because, think about it, he's only into being a monarch because he wants the bananas, he wants the currency, he wants to get rich. So boom, there's King K. Rool over there. Isabel's a landlord, oppressing our good friend Villager, wherever the hell, over there. There he is. So he's down there. Incineroar's a revolutionary communist. He's just in it for glory. He's one of those ones you'd see on Twitter, and they're just kind of larpy, and are just waiting for the revolutions. They can, I don't know, stab someone. So there he is up there. He's a violent revolutionary communist. Piranha Plant, eco-fascist. Just cares about plants. Isn't bothered about much else. Joker. I did research on Joker for this, because I don't know much about him. He's part of the Phantom Thieves of Hearts, which aims to change society by touching the hearts of people and illegal heists. So he's trying to change society with illegal heists to touch people's hearts. That's deeply left of your head. Hero is the epitome of chaos. It's pure anarchism as you get. If you know Max Stirner, that's who Hero is. Banjo and Kazooie isn't very interesting. I'm just saying he's a bit of a capitalist. He wants to get those golden puzzle pieces. He's just going to be a little bit capitalist. Nothing insane. Just there. Terry to me is an interesting one because Terry, you know, he's quite aggressive. He's always asking, like, he cares about people clearly. You know, he's always asking, like, are you okay? Are you all right? You know, do you need any help? He does it in quite an aggressive manner. So I feel like he wants to help people, but in like quite a authoritarian way. So it's going to be just like a little bit into authoritarian left. Byleth, another character who I play, is a professor, and as we know, according to Ben Shapiro, all professors are Marxists. So there you go. Min Min is known as the Ramen Bomber, and is part of ramen royalty. Has a family restaurant, which is the only thing she cares about. She fights for her family restaurant, so just like nothing crazy. She's kind of the same as like here, just a little bit capitalist. Doesn't really mind that much. Let's put it there. A little bit capitalist, isn't that bothered. And Steve lives in a world where he fights for everything by himself, so he could be ANCAP. However, no currency, not currency, guys. I'm just gonna say he's basically just kind of like a little bit libertarian right, a little bit right, but mostly libertarian. And this has been the list. I'm as surprised about it as you are. I don't know why I've done this, so let's have a little look at it in retrospect. So the most populated one definitely seems to be authoritarian right, which makes sense because there's a lot of royals in this game, and then a lot of anarchists, and then a very few communists in Smash Bros. So you know, that's kind of disappointing, but hey ho. I mean, it could be worse, I guess. So yeah, let me know what you thought about this list below. If there's any of these positions you think is absolutely insane, please yell at me in the comments. I imagine some of them are quite weird. I don't really understand why I made Shulk a Marxist. I don't remember why I did that, but it's fine. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did like it, consider subscribing. I make a lot of these sort of fun videos. Require a small channel. It'd be nice for any support that you guys can give. So yeah, thanks very much for watching. See you soon.